Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. And Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on these severe storms that have taken place in the Midwest. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will you're edified. It says severe storms knock out power and close roads in Midwest as flooding cancels last day of Wisconsin State Fair. It says severe storms struck the Midwest this weekend, dumping around a foot of rain on Milwaukee, causing flooding that canceled the last day of the Wisconsin State Fair and damaging a Nebraska prison to the extent that inmates had to be moved. That at least one death occurred in the storms, which struck several states. One person died Saturday and another suffered serious injuries when a tree fell on the car they were in at Two Rivers State Park in Nebraska. Some of the highest rainfall totals were in the Milwaukee area, where west of the city recorded 8 to 11 inches of rain. In the Milwaukee suburb of Osa, Lauren Kaiser showed an NBC News crew the damage left behind at his home, where he has lived for 20 years. Kaiser and his family were trying to avoid the floods by leaving town when floodwaters started rushing in. So we had the car loaded up and we just decided to try and make a run for it. The water just came in and everything in the garage started to float. Wisconsin State Fair Park, where the state's fair is held, was forced to close early on Saturday due to flooding. The state fair announced on Sunday that it will not reopen for the day's events. So we understand the disappointment you may feel as our team works all year for these 11 days. The statement posted to Facebook read, however, the safety of our fairgoers, team partners, and vendors will always be our top priority. Said the storms had around 14 million people from Kansas to Wisconsin are under flood alerts this weekend. The storms in the Midwest were due to an environment that features a battleground between cool and dry air to the north and west and plenty of moisture and instability to the south and east, the National Weather Service said. A flood watch for Milwaukee was set to last until 7 a.m. Monday, and the Weather Service said that flash flooding from excessive rainfall continues to be possible. In the plains, a slow-moving, nearly stationary frontal boundary will create a risk of thunderstorms and heavy downpours, the Weather Service said Sunday. The states most at risk were Colorado, Kansas, northeastern New Mexico, western Oklahoma, and the Texas Panhandle. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley declared a state of emergency following over 10 inches of rain and widespread flooding. Said there are thousands and thousands of people in Milwaukee that are dealing with the aftermath of the flooding that happened overnight, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said at a news conference Sunday. Johnson said that the flooding, in which some places of the city reported over a foot of rain, was something that Milwaukee hasn't seen in perhaps a decade or more. The USA Triathlon in Milwaukee announced that the sprint and para-triathlon nationals scheduled to be held on Sunday have been canceled due to the combination of potential water conditions, flooding, and course damage throughout the course, limited emergency response teams to support the event, as well as impending weather for Sunday. So we know how much time, training, and anticipation you've invested in this event, and we share your disappointment, USA Triathlon said in a statement. This will not It's like this was not the outcome any of us wanted. We will follow up soon with more details about next steps, including deferral and credit options. Fire departments in Waukesha County, which includes parts of Milwaukee, were conducting rescues of people trapped in floodwaters on Sunday. The Milwaukee Fire Department has responded to about 614 emergency assignments from 8 p.m. Saturday night to 7 a.m. Sunday morning, Chief Aaron Lipsky said during a news briefing Sunday afternoon. The incidents include multiple fires and around 65 water rescues. Lipsky reminded the public not to attempt to drive through floodwaters. Said this is how we have hundreds of vehicles around the city blocking intersections, making progress absolutely impossible, he said. In West Allis, Wisconsin, a suburb of Milwaukee, Jean Krajewski said her home had flooded once before when the nearby Honey Creek overflowed, but nothing like what happened this weekend. The basement flooded and the water caused a hole in the cinder block foundation. So I had never seen anything like it because all you could see is the stumps that the house is sitting on in the back. The city said the home was uninhabitable for a while because the area had flooded once before. She and her husband, who are both retired, have been unable to buy flood insurance. So we're just going to have to slowly rebuild it, Krajewski said. In Nebraska, severe weather Saturday morning caused extensive roof damage to two housing units at the Nebraska State Penitentiary in Lincoln, the State Department of Correctional Services said. The damage caused 387 inmates housed there to be moved to other facilities like gyms. Video from the exterior of the prison released by the department showed large sections of the roof and other debris ripped from a building and scattered into an adjacent yard. As of Sunday evening, over 31,000 utility customers were without power in Wisconsin, according to PowerOutage.us. Almost 13,000 were without power in Nebraska. Yeah, so this is the judgment of the Lord right here. And I know I say that often, but that's exactly what this is. The rain, the flooding, the power outages, the fires. Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And the Lord is sending these storms, man. Particularly these rainstorms that cause creeks and rivers and lakes and streams to overflow and flood towns and neighborhoods. People's homes get flooded. Different businesses get flooded. As you can see, even the prison, was getting damaged. Isaiah 28:2, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And clearly the Lord is sending destroying storms and floods. And the men of the Lord, starting of course with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, have been saying that in the last days we were going to experience this. That's what the world was going to experience. Tropical storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, wildfires, volcano eruptions, mass power outages, famines, pestilences, diseases, civil wars, race wars. And we're in that time because all of these different events are starting to build up. Second Timothy 3 and 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And clearly we're living in the last days. I mean, every time you turn around, something's happening. There's a fire somewhere, a wildfire somewhere. There's tornadoes, there's hurricanes, there's tropical storms, there's torrential rainstorms causing flooding, there's power outages, there's earthquakes. It's just nonstop. It's just nonstop judgment every day, somewhere in the world. Actually, multiple places in the world. And that's how you know that we're living in the last days. Luke 21:22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. And all the things that are written in the scriptures are coming to pass. The love of many waxing cold, the wars and rumors of wars, the fires, the storms, the tempests, the earthquakes. All of these different events are coming to pass. The Lord say that he didn't come to send peace on earth, but rather division. We definitely see that. That's why the brothers keep saying there is no getting around these scriptures. All the wicked ass people who keep saying that the scriptures are a fairy tale or a bedtime story or make believe, those wicked people, they're gonna die, man. They're gonna die because the scriptures are telling you what's going to be taking place in these last days, and it's literally playing out right in front of us, and a lot of people still don't believe it. That's how you know that the Lord has to put a certain spirit on you to believe. Because how can you see all these events taking place, just like the scriptures say, and then still not believe that the scriptures, foretold these events? Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And that's a majority of people. Majority of these people are simple. Majority of these people, they refuse to heed the warnings. And then when that judgment hits and they get caught up, then they want people to cry and feel bad for them and donate to them and all of this. And it's like, no, if you would have listened in the first place, you would have been prepared and gotten out of the way before this happened. But that's how you know the Lord, he just ain't dealing with these people. Like it says in Isaiah 48:22, there is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. And these people, they're getting hit left and right, just nonstop. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see these wicked, simple-minded people getting judged. And these judgments are going to get worse. And they're going to happen more frequently. They're going to be more intense, more destructive, more deadly. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And in this particular, series of storms, they said one person did get killed and somebody did get seriously injured. And there's going to be a lot more of that. There's going to be a lot more people dying or getting seriously injured from these storms and tempests that the Lord is continuing to unleash. Same with the fires, same with the earthquakes. These wicked people have to reap what they've sown. And see, those of us of the hopeful elect, we got to see these judgments and acknowledge that this is the wrath of the Heavenly Father. We have to continue to fear the Lord and continue to move with that fear. Continue to move in righteousness, because we don't want to get caught up in this. We want the Heavenly Father, through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, to keep that hedge of protection over us and our loved ones. Because our hope is that we have been chosen to endure unto the end and be saved. Because we don't want to die the death of these people. These wicked people that the Lord is against. We don't want to die along with these people. So obviously we have to do things differently. But it's going to get worse. It's going to get a whole lot worse. Not just here in America, but all across the world, because Canada is currently experiencing more wildfires. So they're going through it as well. And then, other parts of the world are getting hit with earthquakes and things like that. So, hey, the Lord ain't playing. He is not playing. He is meant to be feared. And majority of people do not fear him. So they have to get punished. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting His Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Ottawa and Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.